We all know somebody like this. Heck, maybe it's even you. I'm talking about that person who packs for a trip a whole week in advance, the one who's got a backup plan for their backup plan. It's like they're living 3 steps ahead of the rest of us. Well, today, we're going to get into the fascinating psychology behind why some of us are just obsessed with being prepared. Does this feel familiar at all? That little voice inside your head that just will not shut up, spinning out one endless what-if scenario after another? It's this constant loop of possibilities that can feel totally exhausting, but also, and this is the weird part, kind of productive, right? I mean, just think about flying. The what-ifs start coming thick and fast. What if my alarm doesn't go off? What if traffic is a nightmare? What if that security line is a mile long? Your brain has already run through every single possible disaster before you've even found your keys.
Or how about a big work presentation? That's when the anxieties really kick in. What if the projector dies? What if I blank on my most important point? What if they ask me something I just can't answer? And the spiral just keeps on going and the pressure keeps building.
And then you've got the classic social anxiety moment. You see a familiar face from across the room, and your brain just goes completely white. That split second of panic is a perfect what-if moment. But here's the thing. This mental hamster wheel isn't just random worrying. It's actually a very specific and surprisingly useful process that your brain is designed to do.
So what is actually going on in there? All this future planning, all this preparation. It isn't just you being a worrywart. Scientists have a name for it, and they see it as something much more structured. It's basically your brain's own personal dress rehearsal for life.
And here's the official term for it: mental stimulation. This is your brain's go-to strategy. It's actively running these simulations of the future, the good, the bad, the ugly, not to freak you out, but to get you ready. It's the brain's attempt to look at the terrifying, uncertain future and make it feel just a little bit more manageable.
This is probably the best way to think about it. Mental stimulation is like a flight simulator, but for your mind, right? A pilot uses a simulator to practice what to do if the engine fails or they hit a storm, all in a safe environment. Well, your brain is doing the exact same thing. It's practicing for the inevitable turbulence of everyday life.
Now, this whole process isn't really rooted in pessimism, even if it feels that way. It's actually a pretty clever trick your mind uses to solve a really big problem. How do you feel like you're in control when the future is completely uncontrollable? So let's break down how this little equation works.
Okay, so it starts with step 1. You're facing something uncertain, and that uncertainty creates anxiety. So what does your brain do? It gets proactive. Step 2. It starts mentally rehearsing different scenarios. And for every bad outcome it imagines, it starts to build a response plan. That's step 3. Okay, if I miss my flight, I'll immediately call the airline and get on the next one. And the result? Step 4. That vague, paralyzing stress starts to turn into a solid feeling of preparedness. And just like that, the anxiety goes down. And this right here brings us to the real psychological payoff. See, the ultimate goal of all this mental gymnastics isn't to perfectly predict the future. It's to feel a sense of safety right here in the present. And going through this process creates a really profound shift in your mindset.
Let's look at the difference. The purely anxious mind is totally reactive. A problem hits and it gets completely overwhelmed. But the rehearsed mind? It's proactive. It's already played out the scenario. It has a blueprint for what to do next. You go from feeling like a victim of your circumstances to feeling like a capable manager of whatever might happen. It's a huge difference.
So this is the most important thing to remember. Mental stimulation isn't some superpower that lets you see what's coming. Not at all. It's a tool that helps you build psychological armor. The confidence you get isn't from knowing the future. It's from knowing yourself and trusting that you thought through enough options to handle whatever life decides to throw your way.
So where does this leave us? How should we think about that person we call an overthinker or an obsessive planner? Is it really a character flaw, or could it actually be something else entirely?
Let's try to reframe this a little. That person isn't just sitting there worrying. They're running incredibly complex simulations in their head. What looks like pessimism is actually a really dedicated form of preparation. And what we might just write off as a personality flaw could actually be a deeply ingrained survival feature, an evolutionary edge that's helped humans anticipate and navigate danger for thousands of years.
Which brings us to a final question to think about. The next time you find yourself, or someone you know, stuck in that what-if loop, maybe don't be so quick to see it as a sign of weakness. Instead, maybe just ask yourself, could this be the mind's way of quietly and methodically holding a dress rehearsal for resilience?